We're a little ahead of our agenda, but I wanted to recognize Chairman Simon with the Middletown Rancheria, who has joined us. We have the pleasure and the honor of sharing with you a video premiere. It's an extension of the work that we did for the 2022 report, which includes a new section on the impacts of climate change on California's tribal nations. And so, Chairman Simon, if you would care to please say a few words introducing the video, we would appreciate that.
Well, we talk about end in time, but I did make it just in time. So anyway, so good morning. Amenehi Kalaktak, Moke Simon, Middletown Rancheria Tribal Chairman for the Kotsa Tau people in Lake County. We are a small tribe on the south end of Lake County, right on the Napa County line. And today's video obviously is very important as we're talking about these climate changes and opportunities. Even the abalone you see today that I wear, you know, we're challenged to go out and gather that as we did for thousands of years of people, you know, and seaweed gathering, everything else that happens. But today's video is going to talk specifically about our climate change that we're experiencing in Lake County. If you do not know, Lake County over the past 6 years since 2015, the Valley Fire starting it, has had over 75% of its basic area burned. We've all been either evacuated, homes burned down for the tribes, burning right through our tribal nations, right through our homes, right through our homelands. And as you know, in California, many of our tribes, we don't even own our homelands. We're relocated from just a few miles away from our original villages that were taken from us in 1851 by the treaties that were signed, and most of us have never been able to return there. We will get there one day, but that's the work we need to do throughout our lives and pass on to the next 7 generations. First of all, I want to honor our elder here, Ron Montez. Ron is a leader, an elder leader in our county. You know, I'd like him to step up and say something too in just a minute. I stepped in the last minute here, and some of our other tribal folks here that are on the video. It's very important as we talk about the Thule survival around the Clear Lake, the oldest natural lake in North America. It's been there for 1 million years because of the volcanoes and the formations through that. It's a very sacred area to the tribal nations. For the hitch or the chai, which we have as a county board, and I'm the first Native American elected in Lake County, have finally done a proclamation for the endangered species that is in that lake. And we're going to fight the rest of our lives to continue that conversation, how we keep that fish there for another 1 million years to sustain our people. It is a challenge as we move into this new era of, you know, the reality that we live in the world. Climate change is affecting all of us so dramatically. The rains that they potentially say are coming in next week. We not only look at the heat, but the floods that are changing in our area that challenge us. And in this world today, you need water to live. So you keep as much water in that Clear Lake to take care of the whole valley, but that affects each one of us living around the lakes, where there's flooding of the homes, you know, because they don't want to let the water out. It affects the health of the lake with the dam that is on that, because if you clog up something that's been natural for thousands of years, well, millions of years, it's going to affect the health of the lake. I kind of, you know, put it in the context of taking all the native people in California, rounding them up, putting them on a reservation, creates trauma, creates lifetime stuff that continues through generations. The same thing's happening to some of the lakes, especially the lake in Clear Lake, with the algae blooms and everything else that are affecting it. So today there's a small video that we put together, thankfully for Cali. I'm not sure everyone who's involved with the video. All I know is we got out there and we did the video. No, it doesn't matter. For the Middletown participation, where we filmed the video, where you'll see most of it, Sally Peterson, some of the other folks in Middletown. We did our, in collaboration with Tara, our first cultural burn under all of the oak trees that we have out there in our oak grove. Acorns have really been our main food here in California for the tribal indigenous people, and we really want to bring those things back. So in the field that we filmed there, we'll be having an acorn gathering next year. Hopefully we can get all the tribes together and come there. It's powerful in that field that we did there. So just some of the information there, but we are, as you say, on the front lines. We have little pieces of property that we hold value of gold because that's what we have left and was, put into trust, not always by the federal government, sometimes by churches or donated property just because they didn't want the Indians in their towns. And that's where we ended up at. So we didn't have any water, no power, anything like that to help us survive, but it didn't matter. We survived and we'll continue to survive. This next challenge we're going through on getting away from fossil fuels, doing all these things. As tribes, we're trying to be right at the forefront, but the challenge is getting the funds directly to us, because in this country and the way it was set up is, oh, we've got to tell the natives how to do things. No, give us the funds, we'll do the right thing, and we'll be leaders. That's what we're always looking for. We attended the White House Summit. President Biden did sign some declarations, proclamations, hopefully moving that forward. But hopefully we can continue to just work together as tribal nations. We have a very good relationship with the 7 nations in Lake County and continue this push away from fossil fuels. But I also want to make something aware, and most people don't think of this, because where are they going to get these minerals to make batteries, to make solar power? They're going to go and they're going to start mining operations on tribal lands in the Midwest and other areas. So we need to be responsible about that as we're moving forward and understand the new challenges that some of our tribal brothers and sisters will have in the Midwest, where a lot of the mining operations happens all over, but that's something we need to consider as we're moving forward. Inventing that new technology where you don't got to go mine it should always be on the realm of the young folks in the room who are a lot smarter than me, but understand sustainability is not just something that you talk about, it's something you thrive and you work hard to get completed. So we're right on the cusp of a lot of different things. I'll be aging out and be in that elder situation pretty soon. I don't want to say that, but I will. But I appreciate the time today. I wanted to come here so you guys see that we are still here. And that is something that we deal with every day. We are still here. Even me as a first native elected in Lake County, you run into, even in the courthouses, state houses, well, when the tribes were here, well, we didn't go anywhere. You just put us somewhere else that you didn't see us, but we're still here. We're still in this fight, and we're always going to be here pushing for it. I say it every chance I get. I think the answer to this country are with the indigenous people, and starting to hear those voices with the cultural burns, how we live, how we survive, and we'll continue to push that. So Kohika in our language is thank you for the coats of people, but those are some of the words that I have to say. And some of this stuff you see forged in fire. Raise your hand if you've been affected by fire in this room. So these new mega fires, if you've been in them or being evacuated from them, are something you'll never forget. The Valley Fire is something I'll never forget. Changed me for the rest of my life. 100-foot flames, shooting out fire tornadoes like you've never seen. And when you see lifetime CAL FIRE and our fire agency folks just amazed by this stuff and scared of it, it really puts you in a place that we've never been before. So I hope a lot of these little videos we do and things we do helps us move forward. But a lot of folks in here have been affected by it, and it is life-changing. So sorry we've gone through that, but we also learn from it and make it better for the next generation. So Thank you. Oh. Tom, would you like to, did Ron say something?
I have to follow up after him now. My name is Ron Montez. Duwe name kodie. That means good morning. Chi'inta ma'e. And how are you? And if you respond, I'm good, ha kodi. Say ha kodi. That means I'm good. Wakshi'e Ron Montez. Uchike achabenapo'e. My name is Ron Montez. I'm an elder from the Habenapo tribe, the Rock People tribe. I am one of many who have been raised around the lake. I was raised on the southern, actually the eastern end of it. And we had no running water or electricity all through my high school days. And so we are very adaptable people. We have been adapting for thousands of years around that lake. We've seen large herds of elk and deer in that area move away. Our bears are gone. The mountain lions are gone. There's just a small percentage now of the land that we had that was available for us to go and gather our own food sources. And so it's even worse now because we're inundated with vineyards everywhere. And so all those oak trees and all those places where the plants would grow up and the different grasses that would grow up, that was our diet, are no longer there. And our tules that Moke mentioned, that we use those for our house, for our clothing, for mats that we lay on, for covering. It was very important to us. And one thing I just wanted to throw out here, if this is a little discussion about adapting, all the stuff that I just heard, I was blown away by all that. A lot of it went right over my head. Some of it hit me. And one of the portions that hit me was this. Until you get to see landscapes through native eyes, you won't know how to deal with a lot of the things that's there. When we see a landscape, we are not looking to see the best place to put a house or one that's close to water so we can have a well, or one that's up on high on these mountaintops so that no one can bother us and we can have this view. Ours is, our relatives live here, the squirrels, the deer, the acorns. The acorn trees are our elders. And all the other trees, they all relate because they all have a purpose. There's an ecosystem that's going on there, a relationship of a wasp that goes up into an oak tree and lays an egg in there, and it determines how that oak tree is going to produce. You take away the oak trees or you take away the wasp, you've just messed that whole thing up. So ours is a relationship. We are related. Natives are related to the water. That's our mom. To the mountains up there. Those are our sacred places for our medicines and for us to pray. And so we have a relationship with all of the different parts of the land on the shorelines, with the tules that grow there, with the willow trees that we make our baskets out of, with the sedge that we make little other types of basket that can hold water. Our relationship is what has allowed us to continue to adapt. So we manage all of those resources. They feed us, they clothe us, they take care of us, and we in turn have this relationship with them where we tend them, we make things right with them. We try to bring healing to these areas. We can look out and see what trees are missing, what's supposed to be there that's not there now. We've seen a lot of non-native trees that have been brought in for different reasons, but they don't get along with native trees. And the grasses that come in, they have short roots, so they go, and their seeds fly all over. And so you have them all over. The native grasses, the seeds go down. And so you need fire to burn that, to allow the native grasses to come up because they thrive in that fire. Also oak trees. So those are things that we know, and we learned it by grandmas and grandpas and stuff telling us go and do these things. A lot of times we didn't even know what we're doing or why, but now we know. And so it's a relationship that causes us to be adaptable and will continue to be adaptable because we've gone with nothing. We've made stuff, we've made a pot out of a basket so that we could cook in it. Hot stones, drop it in there, put your meal in there and stir it up. Take the stone out, put another one in there. And it comes out like poi, but it tastes better. Like Moke said, every day we had some of that in mush. And we had a piece of meat, a fish actually, a chai. That was our daily meal. And our Creator supplied that to us. So in this film that you were going to see, we have Sandy Miranda. Stand up. She's my right-hand man and woman. She works with me, and I'm also the TIPO, the Tribal Historic Preservation Officer for our tribe. And Sandy works hand in hand right here on this side with me, so she's in this video also. So I'm just going to quit talking and just let you guys go ahead and show that. Thank you.
Thank you, Ron. As we're queuing up the video, I wanted to acknowledge, in addition to Sandy, that we have Alicia Castellanos with the Environmental Department joining us today as well from Big Valley. You will also see her on the video. And I've been informed that on Zoom, we have a couple of Middletown tribal members, Sally Peterson, who is a tribal elder, also on the video, as well as Luya Rivera, who works in the Environmental Department. So with that,